Ladies and gentlemen, you should be most welcome back to Jimodism Total Nerdy Channel. Yes, you are watching Jimodism, and we're not really Total Nerdy Channel anymore. It's just something I say all the time because I forget. It's only Jimodism, and you know what? The fans of the Jimodism channel, you're hereby I can officially announce, if you didn't see the Discord, that you're not called the Total Nerds anymore. No, you're called the Jimodists, because Total Nerds was for too general. Anyways, I don't know if you care about that, but what you probably care about, because you clicked this video, is CRAM cannons. We're gonna play around with CRAM cannons, and I'm also going to prove that I'm not completely, dropped behind the carriage or whatever you say. In any case, first I thought maybe to have the battles for the battleship tournament versus the broadsword today, but I felt like it will not be today because it's just so many. It's super cool. Like, thanks a lot for every one of you. You actually submitted like a lot of ships to battle against the broadsword. And all the submissions should have been, they should have been sent in by now. So if I counted correctly, it should be like 22 submits. There is one thing in here that's actually just a drone thing that we should ignore if it doesn't work. I don't know, we'll see. Some people have sent in 2 builds because I did allow that on the caveat that will test all people's one first submission, and then we may test the second ones if we've got time and energy. But basically there should be 22 all in all, so it's like, thanks guys for sending in so many big battleships. It will be really cool to try it out against the broadsword. I kinda assume that most of you will win over the broadsword, since I don't think most of you have tried out really exotic designs, which the broadsword kinda is. I mean, it's designed to go over the water with like, it just burns so much materials to get over the waterline. It's crazy. And it will gain some extra speed for sure, but it's more to look cool actually. It's from a cartoon movie from France called Triplets de Belleville or something like that. They have this kind of painted depictions of big boats coming from the sea, and they are like super high because it's a cartoon, and that was kind of the inspiration for the broadswords, like how deep it goes. Anyways, we shouldn't talk about that very much more. Look through this list. If you have submitted a battleship to get battled here, if you don't see your name here but you know that you have submitted it like in time, please tell me, because in that case I did a mistake, but that should be all. So let us start building with CRAM cannons. And first of all, the reason behind this building session is that I want to build good CRAM cannons that are not too big, but are decent and kind of tough, and to put on the battleship that we're going to send over to Borderwise for some battles. And yeah, so we're gonna do some experimentations, because I did try to make a Doom CRAM. I wanted to one-shot anything with one CRAM cannon, and that completely failed. So I'm thinking that maybe we can have like a barrage, or like a group of CRAM cannons that we can set up and sync them up so that they shoot different shells from time to time, so that all of them together would actually kill an enemy. That could be kind of cool. So that's what I wanted to think a little bit about and test. But now this is a special mention for one of our best commenters on this building series, and that's a user called Nico Pens, and basically he has a lot of tips and stuff like that, and he said that all of my CRAM cannons basically have terrible Tetris, and I want to defend myself with this particular cannon. And if you see how the Tetris is set up for this one, we have like a tube there, bam, 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 and it's connected up like that. So the ones in the middle get shared by 4, these get shared by 4, and yeah, all of these pellets get shared by 4. So I would say that, to my defense, while many of my old cram cannons have terrible Tetris, I will say that this one has actually a kind of good Tetris, and it's kind of amazing it even, works with 4 barrels. And if you wonder what this is my anti-air cram cannon, and that was the only thing I wanted to say with spawning in this build. We won't use it because it uses kind of some really normal Tetris going on there. And right, so this is, I'm going to build a turret with this base here. So because I didn't EMP protect my turrets very much before, I imagine that I should be able to have a local weapon controller right there, and it should be kind of well protected, I think, against EMP. And if this doesn't work, please tell me, of course, but it should. And here I have been playing around a little bit with different cram cannon setups. So I spawned a cannon here just to see how many blocks they are connected up to, basically. And as you probably can see here, this is the middle, and this is a pellet. It's shared by 4 going on there. And this one is also shared by 4. So we have tubes going up, like one there, and they share a lot of the pellets, which is super good. And one alternative I have is to have one layer of metal armor going on here, like this thing. And that will limit the size of the cram pellets and stuff going on there, and it will also make it, a little less weaker. And then I have the other option, which is basically doing like this, so that instead of one layer of metal armor, we have an extra tube here, like an extra cram connector there, one extra there, one extra there, so 1, 2, 3. And then we can, on those, connect up, here we can see, one payload packer that goes to 2. And this one goes to 1, 2, 3, 4. And this one goes to 5, 6. It should be, right? Now did I calculate anything problematic here? Let's see here. Okay, so by having these 3, we'll get 1, and here is supposed to be a pellet 2, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like connections. We'll get 8 extra connections by only having 1 more pellet. So I think this is kind of a good deal. And on this edge here, I played around with not having an extra pellet, but instead have a cram connector right here and just add payload packers here and there, so we get 2 extra connections. And I did some thinking with these 3 different alternatives. I'm not sure you're with me here, but I hope you are. But anyways, I basically came to the conclusion that this setup is best. 1 extra pellets for like 8 extra connections. This one is a little cheaper, but it's not good enough. And this one is just... we're gonna try to not have any internal armor for this cram cannon. Yeah. So that is my decision. In any case, this is gonna be the cram we're going to go for. And as you can see here, this area here and there needs to be free because, otherwise it can't spin around. In any case, ladies and gentlemen, this should be a good connection. And since they are kind of tubes straight down, it should also help us, even if we get shot, the cram pieces don't really explode. So it can still kind of function, even though like one side got damaged there. And I'm also wondering that... because we don't want them to completely break by having one of these connections go, we're actually going to have a base plate of cram connectors just to properly link them up, like real hardcore. And then we don't only connect them from top, but also from the bottom, and that should really make it kind of sturdy. And if you're wondering, what am I doing? Why am I trying to save so many pellets? And why am I thinking about these different types of complex setups? It's as simple as this. Pellets 180 or 150. Packer 25. A 6-way connector 5. Yeah, so this, like, one of these plus one of these is like 30. So if you have 2 of this, if you spend 30 materials just to have 1 extra connection to a pellet, it's like definitely worth it. No questions asked. It's like very much worth it. So that's why. Anyway, we're gonna spawn a local weapon controller right there. Oh no, we're not. We are now actually not building on this thing. So we're going to, here we go. And I'm thinking that if we get EMP on us, the EMP would want to go somewhere, and I'm not really sure exactly where it wants to go. Yeah, maybe I should have a... You know what we should do? I think we should go here, blocks, surge protectors. It won't take a heavy hit like that, but I'll just have a surge protector on the metal here. And now let's see here. Now I'm just going to think where the CRAM connections will be. There won't be anyone there. If I have 3 like that, they should probably maybe stay away from the turret 1-axis thing. Anyways, I don't remember if the axes take EMP damage. I think they kind of do, but I might be very wrong as very often. Any case. So we're gonna set up some T-trees here, and as you probably saw my T-trees already, I'm just going to quickly put it in here. So one here in the middle, just so you can kind of see where we're going at. And it's so hard to see where these kind of connect up. Let's see here. Yeah, there it is. And of course, now I already forgot that we should actually have the fill. There we go. That was the thing we were supposed to have right there. And as I already know, we can spawn 3 here and 3 there, and we'll have the edge connections going on there. And then adjacent to like this block, right like there, right? It should be. We could connect up these, and that should be all the CRAM connections going on there. And then we go for this little thing. Let's line it up, see where the connections go. They go like that. And we'll basically just spawn them in so that they are flat, like the back to the pillars. And if we basically fill it out like that, it should then be absolutely fine. And then we can fill in the rest with pellets. There, and in the middle, right there. So here we have a beautiful sandwich thing, and to stop all this glowing in an angry red color, let's plop that down, and here we automatically got a nice thing. No pellet connected to packers available. Are you kidding me? This is connected to... It's probably because it doesn't have a barrel, right? No, it's because we have mirror play and this thing is connected up. Yeah, so anyways, by using just this little pull thing here, we got a 6-second reload time little mini cannon. Very nice. So anyways, as you probably understand already, we're just gonna take this thing and we are going to copy and paste. We're just gonna select kind of the height of this thing. So this is of course the deck, like the bottom layer we're gonna spawn this on. So we're gonna think on how many blocks high we want this. And I'm thinking like if we're standing on a flat surface like this, we probably want it like in like fours. So this is 8, 12, 16. I think 16 should be enough. And over 16, I'm thinking we're gonna have the deck layer. So this is kind of this there or there. That's the question. There or there. Anyways, what we are going to do is, of course, taking the prefab mode and copy this thing like that. Probably a smart idea to save this as a prefab for future use, and then we can just like do like ba-dum bum ba-dum bum. And now we're gonna think, is this going to be, this is probably going to be a yeah, right, so that will be fine. Then we can basically just cover this top layer with another layer of connectors, just, you know, to be sturdy and everything like that. And now I'm thinking we're gonna have one layer of these gauge increasers just to kind of, yeah, make it flat like that. And now we can think about where to draw up the connections to the CRAM piece. And I'm thinking like this, we're gonna have CRAM connections to basically all sides to make it be able to take more shots. And now is the little thing here that's a hot topic for debate, I think. A lot of people like to make a thin kind of neck of the turret that goes up through the hull. And that might be smart for like smaller turrets that's sticking above like deck and stuff like that. I just still have this kind of weird thing where I just like to make them a little bit more, yeah, I kind of just like them to be as, like, I want the head to kind of stick over the size of the thing there so that it's actually like well right down. I don't know if that's kind of just pure stupidity, but, you know, that's how I usually do them. But anyways, so this time we're actually making kind of a low turret. So this will be the middle of the turret, and this will be the deck line. So it will be here. And now I'm going to set up some connections going on there. So we're gonna have one connection going out from the back of the turret, like there. And we're gonna have one that goes down straight down. And we're gonna have another ones that just kind of dive down a little bit like on the sides. So I'm thinking kind of like that. So now the CRAM needs to kind of take a direct hit to actually be disconnected from the rest of the turret. Like the firing piece needs to be killed. This should kind of, you know, work out pretty well. Anyways, we have some stuff that definitely needs to have, you know, we need some extra stuff. And what we do need is probably a fusing box, because we want fuses most likely. And we can have, actually, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna have one fusing box there. And I'm not sure we wanna have a laser targeter, to be honest. Let's think about that. Thing is, if this fusing box gets killed, we can have another fusing box. And we're gonna have it somewhere. How about have it here? Let's have one in the side too. But actually, if they have the same fuse, let's add that lastly if we really need to. This is kind of unlikely to get hit down here anyway, so it's probably fine. Here is a fusing box we can have. Okay, very nice. Right, so the firing piece, it's of course a little bit sensitive. So we want to armor the firing piece itself up a little bit so it won't get kind of, you know, shot at. We want to have some base protection going on here. So I'm kind of thinking that we make this kind of sturdy little frame for it, like that, so it can take some front hits going on there. We might need some spall liners on it as well, but I'm feeling for this thing it's kind of small enough that we want it to just take a like moderate hit and not die. And possibly also add... I'm thinking that we at least add one kind of like that. Like a 4-meter thing going on there down to the bottom, so we get some stability in it, probably. Something like that. Alright, we can tinker around forever with like armor and stuff, so let's just set up this thing a little bit. Right. So, heavy barrel. We want a heavy barrel to protect the front of this thing. So we have kind of 2 heavy barrels going on there. Maybe 3. Then when we have some like base thing, it will be slow like that for sure. So then we can have kind of some agility. Just add some, that's wrong. Actually, let's add a couple of them. Okay, so now it's super slow, but it's kind of sturdy. So now we can add motor-driven barrels like that, like a good chunk of them. And elevation barrel, of course. Whoops. Like that. Then we can have some normal barrels for accuracy. Probably need a recoil, whatever thing. Actually, let's not have a recoil, whatever thing. It's kind of cool without it. If it works, it works. And then to take the... You know what? Should we do like this? Should we do... Now let's see here. How fast is this? 6 per second. We'll see how fast that is. Whoops, now I'm clicking all over. We're just gonna add it like this. So a little end piece thing. It looks kind of cool. And it will, if we kind of aim towards the enemy and we get a light hit on it, it won't destroy the entire barrel, so that's cool. It protects these immediately behind things a little bit. Yeah, so I feel this is kind of a decent setup of a CRAM cannon. So let's see what kind of values we got here. And there are some specific values that are like better to have, that gives us more firepower. Some specific like reload speeds and stuff like that. So we're going to tinker with those a little bit. Alright, so we got a little cool advanced derivate calculation that Nyko Pence made in an earlier video for the Doom CRAM video. And basically, if we go to the CRAM settings here, if we go to 2000 millimeters, then we actually want a reload speed of 23 seconds. And this should be the optimal thing for this particular turret. And since we're gonna aim towards like far away, let's just check how high this goes. It goes very high. That's super nice. Oh god, that looks weird. Anyways, let's have an idle angle of 2.5 degrees. So anyways, for a 2000 millimeter gauge, we actually want a reload time of 23 seconds. 23.32 apparently. So we're going to set up this thing here. And of course, each of these cannons will be different. We're gonna have a little line of them firing towards the enemy. So we're just gonna set up this one to be it's just gonna be a penetrator thing. So if we just check how many, let's see here, 20, we're just gonna get, so we get to a 23 point, can we have one less? Yeah, something like that. Now we have only hardener pellets, so, you know, that's how it is. Cool! So this should be kind of the optimal setup, and I want the entire, I want all the cannons to fire every 23 seconds, and I want them to do some serious damage. So anyways, let's just aim this thing and just fire. Whoops, now I code totally, okay. It deals a lot of kinetic damage. Very nice. Good job, Jimodism. Applauds. Yeah, so for this particular thing, let's set it up as hollow point just because, you know, it will deal damage. Right, so I'm kind of thinking about protecting this turret a little bit. There are, of course, many ways we can set this up. I'm wondering if we can do some kind of CME budget alternative with having heavy armor, but these blocks to not make it too heavy, kind of. If we kind of have a light heavy armor setup thing going on there, which doesn't make any sense, but well. So I'm thinking maybe I can have the corners like this. Yeah. I think I'm just gonna set up a little cage for this thing so it kind of works. And we might have the slopes going on like this. Yeah, I probably need to be better at armoring my turrets, so at least I'm trying right now. This is over the decline right here. That's what I decided. So now, is this over the decline, or is this like, is this the decline, or is this over the decline? That's the question. I think that actually the top one is the decline, right? Because I just realized that I at least want to have a layer of metal in case we get hit by bombs or something like that. It's almost like I want it to be heavy armor. Ooh, you know what? I just realized that you can see these corners. They have the same stats as the triangles, but they kind of cover the entire block, so I'm kind of having corners going on there. So it's not like too heavy, but it's also can take some like serious firepower. So that's what we're going for. And we also have a couple of these going on there, just some extra ones. So that's kind of, this kind of layer. And since the deckline goes here, this layer will be above, right? So I'm thinking that over this layer we can have like metal, but then we at least got something to stop it from going, you know, through to the basically straight through and just kill it if we get hit from above. Now, I kind of want this turret to be like generally good, so that's why I'm setting it up in such a way so it's like really, it's really supposed to be kind of like fail safe and whatnot. Right. So you can see there we're going on, and it was sticking out, you know, like that. Yeah, so I think that's pretty cool. Right? Yeah, it should be pretty sturdy. Should be pretty sturdy. This goes over and like this like protects the thing from underneath, and then we'll need to make the well, like the real armor portion. And it almost feels like we're making like armor tutorials and stuff like that, and that's not the point. But anyways, I feel that this cage is like it's a really neat setup. And to add to this kind of protection here, I wonder if we can just make some. We can have these, you know. It's kind of a lot of air, but it should take a lot of damage too, right? So we can kind of do like this. Pretty smart. And one layer more, and of course, what's going on here in the back? Let's see here. That's a 2 meter thing going on there. And of course, on this level, here is the time to fetch a couple of, what are they called? Surge protectors. Let's spend 200 materials on surge protectors. So maybe we can have like one on each side going on like this, and let's call that a day. Cool. Right, so I'm not trying to be completely paranoid, but I just spawned a layer of era armor on the most important areas just because I'm thinking that we don't want to insta-die if we get hit by you know, hash shell, so that could be kind of a good idea, right? I don't know, maybe I'm just being paranoid, but like we don't want to waste materials, you know. And since Jono a long time ago, but still, made us a nice little chart with testing all the different types of armor and how kind of worth they are to actually use, we're just gonna fill in this space with some optimal setup armor, which is, if you do remember, a nice setup of wood and metal in a checkerboard pattern. Perhaps we should actually make a ring so it kind of sticks out a little bit from the middle, so it's not as cylindrical like this. So I was thinking somewhere around these lines, but to be honest, that just looks too sharp and too weird. And even though I like to be built functionally, I also do care about the aesthetics, so I think it only will be the like 1 degree slope going on here. So I'm thinking that we kind of add it like this, right? So we have a 1 meter edge going on, and then we can close it off, right? I think that will be great. Just before I like finish off this thing, you can see here that this kind of shaping hole, it will deflect like light shells and stuff, but a reason why I want to push this out is also to draw the center of explosion in case of high explosives away from like the important parts of the turret. Like if it's a really strong explosion, we can deploy it here on the outer side and it won't destroy everything. So I fill this kind of areas here with wood, so it won't be like super high armor class, but it doesn't care because that stuff is inside this turret, you know. But of course we could change this with metal, but when we're heavier and more expensive, and you know, that's a trade-off. Just wanted to show you that it's kind of wood inside. Very cool. Something like that. And I know a lot of people will be like, Gmodism, please, for the love of something, use a mimic here. And I'm like, no, I don't want to go into the mimic menu today. Let's not do a mimic there. Let's keep it as it is. So let us save this thing, and this kind of shape of this turret, it reminds me very much of a kind of apricot kernel. So I'm thinking that that will be name of this turret, and this is a. God, I need to check which turret base this is. This is the 9, right? Yep, this seems to be the T9. Okay, good. So we can now go into sub-object modes, save this thing, and this will be the apricot CRAM T9. Very nice. Now we can save this thing. So right, how much does this cost? 50,000. Not too bad actually. Now we can have a lot of them. Imagine like 10 of these. They should probably kill anything in a one shot, one barge, right? I quickly extended my small little platform with some more space. And now we can spawn in some more turrets. We apricot CRAM. And we're basically just gonna spawn in a good line of them here. So now we have 2. Because I'm thinking that if we spawn in a good number of them, we can kind of check what kind of loadout we'll need to set for them, right? Anyways, that's let me just spawn a few of these. Isn't this kind of beautiful? We can just aim them up like that. It's a 13 of them now, and the 13 is a good round number, right? It's a good round number. But this is a lot of thump, isn't it? And they reload every 23 seconds, so that's nice. Let's make us very powerful. Let's actually remove this thing. Let me go somewhere else, and let us spawn. Let's just spawn in a crossbones here and see what we can do with a couple of hollow points, right? That's the wrong thing. Here we have it. Nope. Crossbones, and there we go. Now I guess they will miss its first shot. Oh yes, they will. What was that though? Did I accidentally fire those? That didn't make any sense. I think we're about to fire. No? Yes? There we go. Alright. These volleys should hit though. Oh! It did some decent damage, I have to say. It's possible that we'd like to kind of... You know what? First I thought that we should kind of time them so that they fire different... a different volley, kind of. But now I just realized that if we do that, we'll have some troubles. If they fire different volleys, the enemy lambs might actually take them out, you know? If we just fire them in a one big streak like that, it's more likely that they'll get through. And there we go. And wow. They do a lot of thump damage though. They do too much damage, they just thump their ways through there. Let's see what happens if we spawn in a stronghold. There we go. And oh, there we go. So this looks intimidating for sure. And they just bounced off. Okay. Oh no, they did take something out. Yeah, so while a lot of them bounce, I wonder what happens if we'd make all of these frag. That would be kind of interesting to see. Right. So I don't know what they're up to really. Are we reloading? We're not. It's like it doesn't... It's like it doesn't fire the enemy, right? Giving... Packers already. This is kind of weird though, isn't it? They don't do anything. I have no more materials. That explains it. Alright. So this is a stream of shots incoming. And whoa, that first one missed for sure. I set up all of them to be high explosive and explode on inertial. So they're not even pen depth. These are, like, all of these are supposed to just detonate on the surface of this ship here. And since they are kind of meaty, these surface explosions should still do some proper damage. I just wanted to see the, like, difference. Since when we're targeting something that actually has shields, having these explode on inertial might actually be a good thing, because you can see they can do this. Even though it has shields and all that, and you know, I guess they're kind of weak towards the lambs because they are basically only high explosive, and I think these are a little bit weaker, but you know how it is. Trade-offs all the time. But you can see these explosions, they actually do some proper damages. You can see it's coming in like there. And just by this, it's a few volleys and the stronghold is starting to look a little bit sad. The cool thing is that we can go into one of these and we can go to CRAM settings, reconfigure loadout. So if we, for example, had, you know what we can do? Now it's 100, which means if we have 33, 33, 33, apply to all cannons. Now we'll have an interesting, oh, not EMP. Yeah, oh god, this is a weird surface explosion. Oh no, we need to try this. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't think that we should do this like with EMP at all. Ooh, that's some lag. And now we have EMP creeping all over the place. And ooh. This did some damage though. Wow. It's just completely disabled. Okay, repair all. That's kind of cool though. Like having that swarm of just EMPs. Okay, now it fired natural again. And it takes not too long time for it to like reload either. And you can see, just with this one hit, we took away 4 percentages, and this looks like some big damage going on there. Huh, that wasn't the thing we were supposed to do. However, I was actually thinking that we should have a, not EMP, but hardener pulse, right? Anyways, if we do like this, apply to all, we can see we have kind of a penetration depth, whatever thing going on there. Whoops. Designer mode. And CRAM cannons. And we can just see here. Because now they should, right? They should. Because the thing is, when we have penetration depth, it works too, but when they kind of penetrate the enemy and that the angle of the shell changes, if it doesn't change, if it just goes through, it should probably not be contact damage, right? It should actually properly go into the enemy, shouldn't it? So if we slow down time a little bit here, we can see what happens. Can be highly interesting. So here the swarm comes. And will they like... That exploded on... That went through though. Okay, interesting. It's hard to see. But that's some proper damage going on there. That's for sure. Now this thing is down to 79. Right, so I wonder... Thing is, I wonder if this is like over-penetrating. And the loadout, inertial. Oh no! It still has hollow point. Alright, it explains. I didn't remove hollow point from all of them. That means they'll definitely explode on impact. The hollow point shouldn't be like the best setup for this type of turret. We should, in like almost all cases, only have one fuse. Well, that explains a lot. Yeah, that's why they always explode on impact. Because if you have hollow point, it will explode on impact all the time. So that's a good thing to know if you don't know this. Alright. And we just set these up. Oh yeah, it's only one of them that were properly set up. Can't even test. 13 turrets. An easy round number. And this one should be the only one that's okay. That's for sure. Right. So, probably we want to take a little look at what's going on here. We should probably repair it. Thank you. And wait for the next volley. And there they come. Alright. We slow down time a little bit. Slow down time a little bit more, because I want to see what's happening here. This one will miss, right? That one exploded on impact. Ah, kind of bad hit. Didn't exactly see what was going on there. Come on, CRAM cannons. There we go. Fire one more. So we basically want the aim point to be in the middle of the ship, so we can actually see if they do penetrate before exploding. That one didn't. It's so hard to see. We probably need to set up that. There is a cool thing that basically shows us the damage done to the target. We could probably enable that. But what this thing does is it does deal some nice damage. That's for sure. Anyways, I'm gonna change the fuses a little bit, I think. These are one of the few times where it's absolutely okay to use the mouse building mode, because we can copy the settings of one of these fusing boxes and then we can just paste them on the rest of them like this. You can see now it's set up. I set them up to 5 meters penetration depth, so we shouldn't be any risk of over penetrating while still dealing some proper damage, right? So that's kind of nice. Right, now we have an interesting penetration depth going on there, and I'm just curious. We accidentally killed it while setting up things, so we're spawning a new one. And there we go, and I was just curious about getting this thing ready to fire some EMP. So it has, oh no. Oh, all of them missed. Very sad. Alright. Now a new volley is incoming. We can slow down time a little bit, right? So, they should penetrate the enemy, and then they release the EMP things. I just wanted to see what happened, because it's so easy to set up. Oh, did you see that LAM system? We took out that LAM system in this first volley. That's pretty cool. That's amazing. Some of the turrets seems to be really sad too. We did so little damage and yet so much. Actually, you know what? Record EMP. Interesting. So, projectile effects. Kinetic paths. Yeah, let's do that. Kinetic and EMP and see what happens. It only took out a small percentage, but that's okay. Boom. Oh, look! We AI killed this thing through the turret, right? That's kind of cool. Right, so with a lucky hit, we can probably take out the enemy craft in like one shot. Let me shot them at the. Can I? Okay. No, I just wanted to see, like, here you can see this. It penetrates 5 meters and it detonates the like EMP. Yeah, that's kind of nice. Wow. Okay, we need to try that again for sure. Here we go again. And the first volley always misses, as is the custom. And that gets us time to get into damage debugging, EMP, projectile effects. There we go. Now we can prematurely activate the first volley. Beautiful. And we're gonna slow down time a little bit, I think. See what happens. No, so many missed. God, we need to select a better like aim point. This is just sad. Okay, so we can see it does some penetration, then releases the EMP and stuff like that. But it's very much about luck, isn't it? Like this isn't the right way to go when we actually make a thing that will kill the enemy for sure, but you know, when this comes in, if we hit the proper spot, we might do some serious EMPing going on there. Like you saw in the first shot, I think there it goes again. The lambs go. And if a few of our shots can take out the LAM system, that can be quite valuable. So I'm kind of a little bit interested to have a little bit of EMP on these, but maybe we don't have to. Yeah, let's set up another version. There we go, this should be a cool setup. If we change the frag cone to like something sharper, like 30, and apply to all cannons, I'm very curious to see if this one has the same. No, it doesn't. Okay, it's... well, that's very sad. So, this thing is definitely taking some damage. I think we just paused the game here because it feels like having that thing going on there is just lags it, right? God, it feels our camera is like so slow. Damage debugging. Clear all. Oh, there we see our FPS instantly got back. And since this is just repair all. And now we can see the shots incoming. They are pen depth like that. And ooh, that does some damage, right? 9%. We just repaired this before. So with one barrage, it's like 1% of the 9% of this is just gone. And now this is like every 23 seconds, so it's kind of well set up. But imagine if we kind of try to remember this ratio. This is like 20, so we set this as to 2. This is like 10, and this is, yeah, okay, set this to 1. And we just see here, this 222 seconds. Okay, let's apply this weird ass setup to all the cannons. Okay. Repair all. Now this is fresh. Okay. We're going to disable its AI because we're tired of listening to it. We're gonna set it like this. CRAM cannons. And we're gonna slow down time. Oh god. So here we have a couple of doom crams. Incoming. What will happen? Deflected, penetrating, deflected, explosion. Wow. That's a lot of damage. Man. 78%. I wonder if is it even like, whoops. It's kinda alive. How is this thing alive? What? Okay, I'm disappointed. It had to be the aim point, right? I wonder, do we have an EMP? Let's check this out here. We do have, no, we don't have an EMP. Okay. Apply. Okay, no. Okay, let's have more EMP then. Okay, apply to all cannons. Now we have more EMP. Right. We're doing like this. We need to do like this. Refill. Alright. Now it's up to test. Speed up and slow down. God damn it, that's a bad aim point. Come on. And that bounced off. That's just very sad. What's going on here? I mean, it does some damage. I have to say that, but nah, only 9%. That's what we could take out in a good hit before. Not cool. Now we're just basically like playing around, but you know, that's fun too. Okay, it's completely repaired. So dependent on how good our aim point is, these bounce though. Now this goes through there. And it flies frags all over the place. If these would just spread out a little bit, damn, that would like kill it definitely in one go. I think we do too much explosives, to be honest. You can see here, we took away this side of the craft. You know what? This feels like it's up to luck and our AI. So if we just set these to be not dying anytime soon. I'm feeling that I want the firing control computer, right? Because I wanna select the aim point. And I'm actually thinking we have too much. Oh yeah, and the pen depths. They should be a little bit different, right? Now these are set up to be 5. But if some of them are set up to be like 10, it feels like the damage would spread out a lot more. And this thing can be set up to be like 13, you know, so we kind of detonate them at different spots. And this is like early on, just, you know, 2 meters just behind the front armor. Yeah, you get my drift. A couple of them differently there. And I think the explosion and the penetration, both of those are probably the hardener. Let's decrease the hardener a little bit. Let's decrease the high explosive. Let's increase the frag and the EMP. Yeah, and we copy that to all the cannons. No, you should be like that. And we copy that to all the cannons. And now we don't have any hardeners, or not many at least. Okay, that's weird. It's kind of cutting those away. Remove some more frags then. 400s. Come on, give me some. Thank you. Because this is totally sensible, right? Yes. And we're going to do like this. And we're going to select a good aim point. I'm thinking that we are wanna aiming kinda in the middle. Like that. And now the shots are incoming. That was a... God damn it. Stupid aim though. I'm not sure I'm better than the AI anymore. Okay. Everything bounced. Of course, if you didn't know it, we're just playing with Doom crams again, because that's basically what we set up here. They're bouncing to... Oh! I totally didn't forget that I set this up on God mode. Definitely not. Okay. Team with I have control. Cool. Okay. Nice. So, I'm selecting this area. Beautiful. No? Right. If we try to shoot it in the back like that, come on. Refill. And now the AI apparently thought to fire them instead. Now we deal some damage here. That's more like it. You can see the EMP is just frenetically eating away in there. And what is it trying to do? Who knows? It feels like it's applying EMP damage to something that's already dead, which is kind of sad. 80%. That's like more like it. It's like took away a proper piece. Anyways. If I repair this thing, I'm just aiming it here. Right, so let's just aim here. Maybe we can hit below. Oh no, it's shields there too. Okay, never mind. Something like this, right? God, that's so many bounces. But I feel like hitting the front is a really bad hit. We only took away 15% of it, right? So if we kind of repair this thing and we try to kind of hit right here, that should probably make more sense. In case... Okay, we're still packing the payload. Okay, never mind. Now the AI took over. So we're going to see where the AI is aiming. And it aimed in the front. We got those annoying bounces there, but that's what happened. If we just set up these to be a little bit sharper, to spread the frags a little bit more sharply, we might deal a little bit more proper damage. Probably. Something like that. I think that the EMP is really strong, but it's not doing much for us. I think it could one-hit a lot of other targets, but for this particular enemy, I don't think it's gonna do enough. Like, this kind of Doom Cram setup... Oh god, it deals a lot of damage though. But it's... the EMP is very strong, but it's possible... Like, we can one-hit this thing if we really want to. But the annoying thing with CRAM is that the first load doesn't usually hit. But anyways, let's do some stupid stuff here again. We have some hardeners, like 1. We have some high explosives, like 3. And we have some frags, like 7. And now we get the 500-second reload time, because that's absolutely sensible. And we apply to all. And we just... this thing isn't... whatever. And we're just gonna see what happens here. Every 600 seconds. That's a lot of minutes. And when we do it like this, we of course deal a lot of damage, because now we can see it. It's that it was already a little bit damaged, so I guess this means that it will sink and kind of die. Yeah, it will. So anyways, we can't repair that thing, so let's spawn a new one. Just like that, to see what actually happens. So on an entirely fresh ship, how much damage did we do? 87%, 85%. I mean, this could kill this entire thing if we just hit the right spot. Isn't that right? If we just repair this again. So we can go back here and let's reload the crams. And now we're hit on this. Oh, that's a bad bounce. Not cool. Here you can see 91, 22. We take out the AI, but that's not enough. But just like... yeah. I feel that I kind of have a similar conclusion to when we make Doom Crams. Is that it's basically a lot about luck, right? If we hit the right spot, we can like one-shot this with an AI. If we one-shot this thing, we can kill it with like EMP. Like it's different ways we can do it. But having Doom Crams in general is not feasible. It's like we can set this up so it's large enough to kill a barge in like one shot. This thing costs 600,000, like this CRAM setup here. So if we just protect them, we can probably kill most things with EMP in just a little while. Now, this isn't the best setup going on there. So if we just would set this up decently, I'd guess would go something like let's do something like this. See how many seconds? 20 seconds. can decrease the armor piercing a little bit. Something like that. This should be a good setup. Apply to all cannons. And we can just make them fire, right? And it's not like a one-shot thing. We can do this all day, and look, we accidentally killed the AI. Very nice. Oh, we can't say that. Anyways, so here we go. New thing incoming, and we kind of yeah. This is the thing we just set up. You can see it goes through there. It detonates there. It has a good chance of dealing some good damage, and in 23 seconds we'll get a new explosion. Incoming again. Very nice like that. Bad aim point, but you can see 9% off. It's like 9% off. It's like infinite discounts. You can see the frags go through if we get lucky. Now it's only 23 seconds, but we ain't got all day. Oh no. That's a weird jump around. You can see there what's happening now. 87%, which means if this starts sinking and we deal a tiny little bit more damage to it, it will like despawn. Okay. Third volley. And now it would have been a minute, right? And that's a pretty decent hit. You can see 83%. No, that wasn't too good. We actually took out the surface stuff more. Anyways. I guess that... I don't know if my CRAM cannon setup was like perfect, but I think it was a pretty good CRAM cannon build. If you think I should make some improvements, you can post them in the comments. We're gonna look at the... Oh no, it looks like... Is it dead? No? We're gonna look at the battleship battles for the battleships you sent in. Might divide them up in some different episodes, because it's just so many. But, you know, critique this little turret, but I think this is a good setup. We can just continuously deal a varied type of damage. And since this is like normal CRAM cannon, it's very good for frag. I feel that if this was mortar, we might have a more spread out thing, or actually not, they kind of also line up. But I feel like explosives could be kind of cool. Yeah. Anyways, I suspect that with only this CRAM cannon we made, we could probably make a ship that could take out this stronghold in like a volley or whatever. Not a volley, but a... Yeah, it could take it out, basically. That's what I'm saying. Anyways, I think that will be it for this little video. And if you enjoyed it, please leave a like and do stay tuned for our battleship builds and stuff like that, which is a little mini-series. And this thing is now out. So, anyways, this has been your host, Jimodism, and I'll see you next time. This is Jimodism, signing out. Bye-bye.